Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. I'm really excited to bring you this video. This is with me and my golf. It's Andy and Piers, good friends of mine, great coaches. They've done fantastic work on the online space over the years, and obviously a lot in person as well. Like Coach Aaron Rai, who's doing fantastic things on the PGA Tour at the moment. And this video really is a good short game discussion. I talk about how Piers has got over the yips, how he sort of got away from the nervousness he was facing around the green. We talked about some technique, and then I worked on how he's going to hit a little bit of a softer shot, do some cool sort of little lob shots there with him. Hopefully you'll take a lot from it, okay, and enjoy the video. Right, and delighted to welcome two very special guests here today at Woburn. We've got Andy.
Great to see you, Dan.
And Piers from My Golf. I'm sure you've seen them online a lot. And we are going to talk about short game, specifically you, Piers, in terms of your journey with the short game over the years, which you say you struggle with a little bit. You know, you sort of got a bit anxious about it.
Yeah.
But you've come out the other side. And we're going to talk about some of the things you've done, and just talk about short game generally, and try and help the viewers a little bit, because I know that this concept of sort of the yips, if we dare say it, and this anxiety, it affects a lot of golfers around the greens.
Seeing it
all levels,
so much.
whether it's your level or the higher handicap level. So I think it'd be quite useful for anyone who's feeling a bit anxious. So let's talk about your journey in terms of what you've done. I know we had a little chat off camera there, but what sort of things have you done to try and make it a little friendlier through the turf?
So I think that the first thing was, I like what you said there, because that's really important what you said there. You cued me up lovely. But the thing for me was that and I think this is a great realization for everyone, it doesn't suddenly just happen if you've got really good technique. If anyone's got really sound technique, I don't really see them going down that route of getting a little bit twitchy and getting a bit yippy. So for me, there's always something that's in there with the technique, and there absolutely was something in my technique which was causing this. And ultimately it was, if I hit the ball first, it was a good shot. If I didn't hit the ball first, it was a bad shot. And it was as simple as that. So first thing was, it was kind of like ball back in the stance, and it was kind of ball first, driving it forward.
Sort of try and trap it.
Trapping it, almost compressing it like an iron, which is no good. And for me as well, my golf swing is very much that way as well. It's very much leaning the handle forward. So the first thing that I kind of figured out, I suppose, with a lot of help from other coaches and people online, people like yourself, is how do I understand the two interactions? So the first interaction with ball and club, I think we all think about that, and I think the majority of people you see are probably trying to hit the ball first and hit square on. But what about the second interaction, the club and the ground? And my interaction club and ground was horrific. It was really bad. So what I looked at was, well, how can I change the technique to allow the club to move through the ground? So I do this probably every video I do with someone when I'm talking about short game. So I would always imagine that the watch is the ball. My technique was very much this, ball first, compressing it almost. Whereas what about if I had a technique which allowed me to hit the ground here? Allowed me to hit the ground a little bit before. Now I still want to maybe hit the bottom of the ball or around the ball potentially. But what about if I had a technique that allowed me to hit there? So that's what I kind of went down that route.
I think that's where golfers just get like massively just don't get the short game at all, because if you think about long game, it's all about striking the ball first. It's all about getting that, and then we get around the greens, and I actually advocate trying to actually hit the ground before the ball all the time, trying to get a long flat spot. And it's just much safer. And the way you were chipping, I mean, you're a good player, you know, you will get the club on the ball quite a lot of times and make good contacts, but like you say, there's zero forgiveness. And you watch your best players in the world, they miss it their chip shots all the time, but they miss it into a couple of feet. They've got a bigger margin for error, which you've now got. So let's see a few. Okay? Listen to the noise, because I think the noise is the big thing, whereas before, you'd have really heard that sort of crisp noise on the back of the ball, but hopefully we're going to hear a bit more brushing of the ground now, which you can hear there,
And do you want me to talk through some of the things that I did to help me get this?
I think if we talk about setup first, that would be useful.
Okay, actually the one thing that I did, which was really important, and it happened, but ultimately it was not going for the target. So I didn't have a target. I didn't have a target that I was going for, because sometimes that would influence things.
The target creates pressure.
Yeah, I chipped into an area.
So just, exactly. Just
it was loads better. So setup for me, okay, ball used to be well back, let's get it forward. So ball further forward, club face slightly open. Again, that can obviously help with how the club interacts the ground. The weight would still be forward. I like the flared left foot. The right foot would pop back a little bit. Again, that would just help me be a little bit shallower through the ground as well. If there was one thing that I would say that I would have to keep, it would be the grip pressure. So I'll often think to myself, if it's a 2 or a 3 out of 10 grip pressure, so if it's 2 or 3, how can I make the transition 1 or a 2? Lower that pressure almost. So from here, how can I have it so it's almost softer on the way down and allowing that club to work?
I think that grip pressure is a huge point. Again, it's something that a lot of golfers just have no awareness of.
No.
Literally have no awareness whatsoever.
Yeah.
And if I've taught, I don't know, thousands of golfers over the years, I don't think I've ever told anybody round the greens to grip it tighter, but I've told thousands to grip it looser. And I think as well, what I'm noticing about your grip, if you set up there again, it's not just the grip pressure itself. I think that the key here is actually the pads on the thumb.
Yes.
Because if you look at most players, they get to the top of the backswing, it's actually the squeezing of the pads that creates the lag. So I like to really feel like I'm holding it in the fingers, and my thumbs might look like they're on the grip, but they're really not. They're just touching it. I was watching your thumbs there. It just reminded me that how soft your thumbs look like they're sitting on the grip.
I've done shots like that before.
Yeah,
actually
the
hitting
thumbs
it with
off
no
drill.
thumbs. Yeah,
it's a great drill. For anyone watching who just get anxious and tight with the grip, you take your thumbs off and swing, you'll feel the club head.
Yeah.
You'll feel it release properly.
Yeah, definitely.
So a lot of the things you were describing there are what I call shallowers. So they're shallow ingredients.
Yeah.
And there's debate online about, is it best to be steep or shallow? And my answer is it all depends. It depends on the lie, it depends on the pin position, all depends. But all things being equal, being shallower seems to have paid off for you.
And I think someone who is really, there's a few ways of looking at this. You need both, in my opinion. You need ball first contacts and ground first contacts.
All depends, yeah.
But you can't mix up the techniques. You can't have things that are in ball first that would be in ground first and vice versa, because you're done then. But I think that, again, for me, just a quick one, I'll just hit a couple more maybe, but the length of the swing as a result of this as well, having the softer hands is so important. And if it just gets to the point where it gets a little bit short, I know I'm going to accelerate the handle, and guess what's happening there? I'm driving the club
And
into
the thing is as well, I think you get a little bit of wrist hinge in there, but I would say that's not particularly conscious.
No,
I think that's just happening because of the grip pressure being lighter.
Yeah, I agree.
So you're trying to feel width, but it's just setting a little bit.
Yeah, it's almost like the hands stop, and just because there's no pressure, the club just carries on almost.
These shots that he's hitting, by the way, 12 months ago, if we were doing a video,
I wouldn't allow it. I wouldn't refuse to do it.
Andy, you're doing a short game video.
Yeah.
Now he's like, get out the way.
Yeah, I know.
Like, let me get in. And that's the transition.
Big divots as well, I guess, and driving it, like you were hitting sort of full wedge shots. What I like as well is how you have shut that right heel down a little bit, like you brought the right heel backwards this way. And you see a lot of good players doing this now. And what that does is it encourages you to rotate into the right side and get the right hit working more behind you. So I guess before you were kind of more this way. It's hinge in here with no rotation here. Again, it's a severe steepener.
To be honest as well, what I would do, this is definitely me talking about mismatching ball first and ground first. I'll be here, but the club would be here. So I'll be actually coming around the corner with the club too much on the way back.
How flat that wrist has got and how that's taken loft and bounce off. And instinct is such a big part of short game. Like if you get there again and you go shut there, for a good player who knows where the club head is and knows where the ball is, what are you going to do from there to get the club back on the ball? You've got to do that to square it back up and then set the right shoulder down. Exactly. Whereas now, because you're going this way, it's setting a little bit more. There's a bit more loft and bounce on the club here. Well, you're now incentivized to actually release the club and go around the corner. So where that club goes at the top of the backswing, where it sits, whether it's this way or this way, has a huge bearing about how you're going to release it. So I think that's fantastic what you've done.
We had there was an interesting quick story. We actually spent some time with Dave Peltz, and he was talking about a story about Paul Azinger. Paul Azinger grips it like this, obviously amazing player, PGA champion, club face very strong throughout the swing. And now obviously in his full swing, he rotates hard to square the blade up. But he was talking about it, and he said, I want some work on my short game. It's terrible, 50-yard wedge shots. And he said to Dave Peltz is watching him duff these wedges and hit these wedges. And he says, well, what do you do if you've got 50 yards? He says, well, I'll sack the caddy. He's like, there's no way I ever want that yardage. But you can see if you have these strong faces like this, it's so hard in my opinion. If I see that, I'm like, we've got to really try
and I think with the grip, I think it's really interesting what you're saying about the grip as well. I think if I see a strong right hand like this, it's always going to shut the face this way. But you can work around with full swing. Full swing, you can match it, you can create a bit more time for it. You've got more time, exactly. But with that right hand on top, it's going to allow you to protect the loft a lot more. So if you are struggling with a strike, make sure that right hand's not underneath. I mean, that is an absolute killer.
I think it's worth. We talk about this a lot. I mean, there's full swing grips and there's chipping grips and short game grips, because everything we want in the short game, we don't want in the long game.
No, exactly. It's totally the opposite, And a slightly stronger left hand, I think, in short game is good. That's going to lead to a little bit more cupping, which again, that's something else you've done. That's good. Okay, should we hit a few higher shots as well and see how you get on when you got to get a little bit more height?
Look, I was just about to say, I want to see him hit some higher ones, because if there's anything that you're great at the standard ones now, but I would say some of the higher ones for Piers is
still hard-sided.
Yes, definitely.
Tell you where would be good, where I'm still not super comfortable with, going uphill. So like something like here where I'm short
from an
side.
upslope.
From an upslope, yes. I'm not a massive fan of that.
Okay, all right.
But still struggle. Anything where anything where I've got to try and create speed
Mhm.
to get it going forward.
Mhm.
So if you put me on that slope there, I'm going to go 50 degree,
Mhm.
have the face slightly open and just play it like I'm playing these ones.
Okay.
So I'll do everything I can in the shot selection to try and make it come off a little faster so it matches the shot.
But when we're on the golf course playing, I'm looking at Piers on some of the shots and I'm like, this needs height and stop. And he's going in.
Right.
low
Okay.
and drop.
Yeah.
Tend to go
I'll tend to try and spin it as opposed to
get it
the
from
loft
land
it.
angle.
You can do that in Southern California, but you can't do it in a lot of places.
Indeed, yeah. All right, let's have a look. Right, Piers, we're going to test you a little bit. We are going to go for the tall pin.
Oh yeah.
I think you're okay with the branches there. It's not all
Okay.
get to the right hand pin, but we're going to see if we can just miss under the branches there and land it and then keep it short. Okay.
Okay.
This
So
is a
what's
tough
that?
shot.
35 yard
It's
shot.
35,
30?
but we need some flight because we've got that fringe. It'd be hard to control it running.
I can spin it. I can spin it. I know I can.
Drive it around.
Yeah, pretty good. Well, a little hot,
little,
isn't it?
little clean. Little
Mhm.
clean. I would say that shot is the push is a big one. I know the club will get it around me a bit too much maybe.
Okay.
But a push would be something.
All right, a couple of little things I think you can improve here. Get a little bit wider in your stance. Got double your width
wider.
and an inch further away with both feet.
Okay.
So stand further away.
Let me just go into my normal one. Sorry.
Yeah. That's
So
it.
wider and further away.
And then get a little bit low. Get a little bit more down into your knees. A bit wider still. That's it. So I want you more like this.
This feels. Oh, okay. This feels horrible.
Because at the moment your left wrist is definitely flattening.
Yeah.
And it's going this way a bit. And that's taking loft off. So if there's a live loft ticker on this, it'd be going 56, 55, and be kind of about 48 there.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why it's come up a little hot. You kind of then have to hold it this way.
Correct.
And that's why you get that little pushy one.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd like, a bit lower down here, a bit more cup, and just feel like you're going to twist the knuckles a bit more this way.
Okay.
Going back, and I think from there you'll be able to feel like you can work it around the corner a lot more.
Blade slightly open.
Slightly open, yeah. Because obviously we're lowering the handle, we've got to open the face a little bit because.
So lower the handle, strengthen the grip a little bit.
Yeah.
And then just feel as though it's a little bit more cuppy on the way back.
The ball again there, yeah. So it'd be a bit more of this feel. You feel that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, whereas you'd be a little bit more this way at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, for sure. A little bit more like the older technique and the chipping almost, isn't it?
Cup in there, yeah.
Okay.
That's it. Okay, so it's come off higher, straighter, much softer. There we go. I'll back you to hold that putt.
I don't know about that.
That's another video.
That's the next lesson. Yeah, that's so extreme for me as well. That's like, but I like it.
Just getting this angle at the dress here, Piers, is making sure that at the dress, this is the key, this angle here.
Okay.
Okay, not too flat there. And then when you're going back, you just twist it.
Yep.
You almost can't overdo that. I mean, there's a max as how much our wrist will extend this way. Okay.
Okay.
And round, I like that. Round the corner.
Is that face open okay there? Enough?
Yeah, so just a touch more. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
There we go. Look at the spin on the ball. See the picks on that ball going crazy. Yeah.
This is the shot that's missing from your game.
It is. It is.
All the rest, but there's so many times on the golf course I'm like, I see him going in and I'm like, it can't access some of the flags.
Yeah.
It's like you get this in your game. It's a big deal.
And you can do many versions of this as well. You know, let's say go for this front pin where you're short side, and let's say you have to carry this like halfway on the green.
Yeah.
So I'd still be getting lower. I'll still be getting, I'm not quite as wide with the stance now, but still getting nice and low, opening the face a bit, and just feel those knuckles just twisting. Yeah. And then from here, we're really releasing it now. So it's just passing through this way. Okay, a little bit of chest just supports that release, but we're moving this way.
Okay.
Yeah. So it got flat again. They're going back.
That,
went that way.
I could feel it straighten out. Sorry.
So, there we go. There.
Okay.
So important to get that toe up position.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not let it get that way. There we go.
Like it.
And then from there, that's it. Just do a practicing again. From there, just narrow the arc of it. So don't let your hands extend too much into the shaft here. That's it. Good. So what you'll tend to, with matchups, you see, when you get a little bit shut this way, you'll tend to see quite wide here.
Yeah.
And when you get a little bit more cupped here, you can get narrow in here.
Suck it in the pocket.
Yeah.
Okay. Grip pressure. Grip pressure. It's actually hard because the grip pressure's there. We go. Grip pressure's not quite there because I'm thinking about that, but I can combine them both. That's soft.
Right, that was very good. That was so much better in the backswing.
Yep. Okay.
It came off super soft.
Okay.
Then it's just a bit of feel. You do have to practice this shot to get the feel of it, you get the pace right. Keep the chest moving. It's almost like as you're watching that ball go through the air, can you make sure your chest is still moving as you're watching the ball?
Okay.
Very, very good, Piers. Look at that. In the Holster Club.
That's it.
Love it.
GG. I do think that's still the hardest part for me to get. I'm just thinking if I can do it with the fingers, as you said. I like that feeling of maybe getting the fingers. I'll get my thumbs off on this one.
Thumbs
See.
super light. Very difficult to release the club, what I call release 3. It's very difficult to do that with any pressure here. Now actually look, when I play this, you see, coming into the ball, I actually get this comes off.
Yes.
Like if you keep this pad on here, you're not going to be able to release it enough. Okay, so that's as much as I can release it. So coming into the ball, it's actually coming off, and that's what keeps it narrow. So think about that as well. Allow the pad to come off the grip.
Can I go longer? Can I go, sorry, yeah.
Longer in the backswing?
Yeah?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
You don't mind it going...
No, I like length. I think the longer you get, I think you're going to be incentivized then to be soft here. Yeah.
How often or how little somebody comes through you for a lesson, they're swinging too long. Probably very, very little. Yeah,
very little. Absolutely. Everyone's goes short to long.
Something we
Go
hear
left a bit more.
all the time amongst golfers, and certainly some of the commentators say this, like, oh, they decelled.
Yeah.
They decelled.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
most golfers are out there trying to accelerate on these shots.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of a myth, that whole thing. I really do. It's one thing. That's a great shot there. Look at this. It's going in.
Look at that.
Oh, if you look at the one thing when you go and watch the top players play, everyone will say, God, I can't believe how high they're hitting their driver or how far they're hitting their driver. But the other thing people say is, I can't believe how slow they are around the greens. And I don't want you to actually decelerate, but I think for a lot of golfers, if you were to try to decelerate, you're probably going to have the right speed.
Yeah.
You know,
feeling real
accelerating. Yeah, exactly. They'll still be accelerating.
Yeah, but by gravity as opposed to force.
Exactly. So one of the favourite drills I get players to do is like, okay, how long and fast can you get your backswing, and then kind of how short and smooth can you hit the shot? That's a great exercise. And yeah, you've got to get that speed control and get that spin. You don't want to be driving into it hard and fast. It's just that long game coming into short game all the time. So yeah, a little longer there. Just release it. Keep going round the corner. Finish.
I think I can strengthen it even more, maybe.
Yeah, give us the full 4 knuckles grip. Yeah,
full 4 knuckles. Yeah.
That left wrist is so much better at the top now. So much better at the top. It's much more this way.
Conscious effort to be longer.
Yeah.
And again, for me, as long as it doesn't matter how much it's different and how much the line might scare me, as long as I don't break my rule. Did we say in this video, or maybe it was before the video? My rule to myself is, as long as you have the softness, that's fine. If you hit a bad shot, it was just your technique wasn't
exactly.
That's okay.
But you're
that's
committing to the move, which is going to get you better long term. Yeah, nice shot.
I think for people,
let's go touch slower now.
As well.
Slower.
We mentioned this over text. It was like we wanted to explain Piers' journey, and the words that you said to me. We want to give the viewers hope.
Yes, yeah.
You know, because a lot of people will be in Piers' position 18 months ago.
Yeah.
But it's possible to make this fast transition doing some of these things.
It totally is.
It's huge.
And it's such a shame, because people, obviously golf's so important to so many people, and if you do get anxiety and the yips around the green, it just spoils the game, doesn't it? Because you're getting around the green and you're just taking 3, 4, 5 shots, you just can't score. Yeah, I'd much rather struggle long game and have a good short game. At least you feel like you're getting the most out of it.
I remember playing golf at a home course at the Asprey, and on the 9th green, and I'm walking up and I can see this really hard shot, and there's another golf pro comes around the corner and he's walking up the bank, and I'm like running to the ball to hit the shot before he gets there.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want him to see me hit the shot.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. But the thing is as well, Piers, do you feel now that in a way you're standing over a shot and you don't feel you need to be perfect?
Yes,
like you're actually staying. So that's going to relax you a lot.
Yeah.
So you don't have to hit a world-class shot every time. If you're 1, 2, 3 inches behind the ball, it's still going to be okay. Yeah. You're not chipping twice.
If ever, one thing I say to a golfer, if ever they've got the yips, I want them to duff it on purpose. It's my purpose now in the next half an hour, 2 hours, whatever it is. I need to get you to duff it. Yeah. And know that it can be a good shot.
Exactly. They're going to get more from duffing it on the green than hit the perfect shot.
Exactly.
Because they're building trust in the ground. Yeah. That's what it's all about.
I like it.
Right, a couple more, and I think we've got the hang of this now. Just got to practice the speed a little bit, haven't you?
So softer, yeah?
Yeah. That's very, very nice.
Just no speed on the way down there. That's nice.
There's no way you can do that with a firm grip, in my opinion. I just
No
don't
way.
see how it's
No,
possible.
the ball will just jump on you. And but the club just won't do this. Like you say, because you've got the club on a decent plane, by the way, which is slightly outside here because of how you work in the wrist. So the club just wants to swing that way.
Yeah.
And if you're light enough, that's what the club wants to do.
Of course.
And our job really is to let the club do what it wants to do, but just support it with a bit of turn.
Yeah.
And that's the job. Yeah. We don't need to force this release. Okay.
Yeah.
Which you have to do if you're gripping it tight.
Yes.
It's actually not as hard as golfers are making it, is it? If we think about it, you know, when you think about some of the things that golfers come to us for lessons for, they're making it way harder than it needs to be.
Yeah. A lot of people get scared of trying to play this sort of shot, but I actually think it's a little easier in a way. But that's a super shot. Yeah, seriously good. Well done.
Do you know what the interesting thing is here? It took me a long time to figure this out, and videoing it and having other people maybe and talking to it. I think the good thing with this is, though, hope is round the corner, like maybe straight away. It's not as far away as you think.
No, and I think short game, I think you can make really quick
straight away.
Like, we know changing the swing takes a bit of mind, right? But short game, you can make really quick improvements.
I mean, just some simple things like you just said there.
If you focus on get the setup basics to a world-class level. For me, there is no excuse why anyone should be world-class over the ball. It's a totally static position. So get world-class level, relax a little bit. Get some advice. I mean, you dropping your right foot back there, I think that's been fantastic for you. That's kind of specific to you. That helps that right hip turn. You need to know your own little bits you need to work on. And I think as well, as you're having a practice swing there, you hear that great noise you're making in that practice swing. Like, and this is something I teach people who do get a bit anxious. If you can give me a great noise with your practice swing, maybe 2 noises, then get over the ball and just give me the noise. Don't care about anything else. Can you give me that noise? And then that gets you into the external focus. The sense of sound is so powerful versus just trying to get that ball first contact. So I think practice swings is vitally important if you're trying to get away from the anxiety. There you go. Tops up fine. All right. Fantastic. Well, hopefully that's helped. Certainly got a bit more finesse in those softer shots. But seriously, well done. It's fantastic to see you come out the other end of it. And you look good. You look like you've got some finesse. You look like you've got some flair. And you're enjoying short game. And that's what it should be about. It's about enjoying the game. And you look soft and relaxed. And you've got another shot in the armoury to work on now.
Love it. Thank you.
But listen, it's great to have you along.
I'm actually worried now about taking him on. Now we've got a new shot that we could actually play.
He was holding that shot back from me, wasn't he, Dan? He was holding that shot back from me.
One thing I would like to ask you guys, obviously you were sort of the pioneers of online coaching and sort of the social media side of things. Can I ask about like the origins of it? What got you started? What got you sort of kicked off on that? Because you really have led the way. And I'd love to know, right back to day one, how did it begin?
It's a long story. I think that me and Piers set up a coaching together in 2006, and we were at Three Hammers in Wolverhampton Golf Complex, and we would watch a lot of YouTube stuff. So we'd watch a lot of YouTube stuff, and then we were like, no one's really doing anything for golf. And we're like, we think we do a pretty good job of what we do, and everyone's coming with the same issues, same problems, and we're going, people are having the wrong concepts in their minds, and come in, and we're going, we can put stuff out that's going to be helpful, so they're getting better without having to come for a lesson. So we started posting stuff, and then we'd get requests, and we didn't do it together at the start. Actually, we do it on our own on a Friday morning, and we just post some stuff, and then we just got more and more into it. And then as we said, why don't we do it together? No one's doing anything together. And then we took that on board, and then we just like, look, let's just commit to just posting a load of stuff and putting value out there that's going to help golfers. And then that led to just like the last 12 years we've been doing now, some amazing experiences with some of the best players in the world. And we just love doing the things like you. As coaches, you can't wait to get in, can you? Like you couldn't wait to get into
no, exactly.
Go like this, and we still feel that all the time. We play golf today with a couple of guys, and we're like, oh, can't wait to get into like just this and this, and that's the passion, and that's why we've done what we do. And with the world the way it is, it's like you can post something now and reach people anywhere.
That's the exciting bit, isn't it? Just to help golfers all around the world, wherever they are. That's what I'm really enjoying.
We go to a golf club, and the best thing that happens to us is when someone we've never met comes up and says, "That video, that's really helped me. Thank you so much for what you do." We go, "Oh, our job is the best. That's the best thing about our job."
Yeah. And congratulations to work with Aaron Rai as well. I mean, he's done fantastic, hasn't he? He just seems to be getting better all the time. And just this week, just off the US Open, a really strong finish again. So
Really interesting with him because his short game was pretty rough, but he was such a good tee to green player.
Yeah.
You know, one of the straightest in the world, fairways and greens. You know, always in the top 10.
yeah,
But short game's come on a load in the last sort of 2 years. It's taken. We often joke it's taken him 7 years to open the club face on a chip shot. He eventually got it, but
same
yeah,
on the
he's-
PGA Tour makes you do it as well.
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Couldn't do that. The thing is, Aaron won the European Tour event with a very limited short game, but now he's got all the tools, and this is why at the US Open he's now able to compete at that level because his toolbox is full of lots of different things now. This shot he couldn't
He's got
play.
versatility, which is what it's
versatility.
all about.
Massive.
Yeah,
Massive.
yeah. Okay. All right. Listen. Thanks again.
Thanks, Dan.
All right.
Thanks, Dan. Legend.
Thank
Appreciate
you
it.
for helping
Thank
him
you.
out. I think now he's gonna challenge me a lot more now on the course.
All right. Good stuff.